you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I know in some cases is an outlier, but in other cases not so much. In a screaming match.
I don't know that she's an outlier anymore.
Well, that's the point. Talk about that. She's in a screaming match with Liz Cheney and Jamie Raskin that Brianna just talked about with Congressman Raskin last hour on the floor of the House. It's the kind of thing I just can't imagine seeing decades ago.
Well, it's not really a screaming match, right? I mean, Congressman Raskin and Congresswoman Cheney are talking on the floor, and according to my sources, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman Greene, goes over to them and she starts screaming at them. And look, I'm not a licensed psychologist. I don't know her, but her behavior suggests somebody that has real issues, that is not tethered to reality or basic standards of decent behavior. We've seen video of her screaming at David Hogg from the Parkland High School after the shooting. This is before she was a congresswoman. And I think what's most notable here is not so much what happened on the floor of the House, but that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Liz Cheney really represent the two doors for the Republican Party right now. Which one does the Republican Party want to emulate? On one hand, you have Liz Cheney, a lifelong bedrock conservative, one of the most conservative members of the House, supported Trump policies, not personal behavior, but policies very strongly. But at the end of the day, would not and will not traffic in the big election lie and has been punished for it. She's trying to preserve democracy. She's trying to preserve the idea that individual votes should matter more than one politician's fragile ego. That's Liz Cheney. All right. On the other hand, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is somebody who engages in all sorts of dog whistle politics, conspiracy theories. I mean, I think Cheney mentioned the Jewish space lasers thing in their back and forth. But in all honesty, Marjorie Taylor Greene on Facebook was suggesting that wealthy Jewish Americans were using laser technology to cause fires in California for some financial incentive. I mean, it is a deranged anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. And yet that is somebody with whom many Republicans are siding. And there's a story in the New York Times today, John Martin reporting that one of McCarthy's acolytes, a guy named Jeff Miller, a very powerful and swampy lobbyist in Washington, Jeff Miller is out there telling political groups, consulting firms, that they have to side with either Cheney or McCarthy. You can't do both. You have to pick. Kevin McCarthy has chosen the Marjorie Taylor Greene direction. That is the MAGA direction. That is the Donald Trump direction. That is the election lie direction. That is the we are not going to care if people are engaged in racist, anti-Semitic conspiracy theory politics. That's fine. And Liz Cheney provides the alternative view. I think I look at what happened on the floor of the House as much more significant than just a squabble or just than one Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, yelling at two people who are just having a conversation. This is the choice for the Republican Party. I don't know that they realize that. I think a lot of them think that there's some sort of third option. There isn't. It's Cheney or Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I guess the question for all the members out there, which one are you going to follow?